thought we would just do a quick live update, mostly for our friends up in very, very northern Missouri and maybe even across the border into Iowa, as you guys are having a little bbit of a wintry mix come through with this storm. By and large, though, the majority of us just not going to be affected by this. Here is live, large-scale composite radar. That's what I'm talking about. At the 6 o'clock hour, picking up, let's see if we can find the heaviest of the snow band. This is well north of Des Moines. So I'm picking up areas like Boone, 30 Highway here, Webster City, up and down the I-35 corridor, well into central Iowa at this time. As we go further down to the south, do see a few little bands of freezing drizzle, freezing rain, still going to find that I-35 corridor here within the next hour or so, this being about 6 p.m. So as we get south of the Missouri border here, we'll go ahead and use regional radar to just see some very light bands. These are just going to be drizzle, barely that, up here along that I-35 corridor, just a little bit out ahead of the low. And so this is going to pick up areas like Eagleville and Ridgeway on either side of I-35, working toward Canesville and Princeton. You guys are just going to get a little bit of nothing. So there we are north of the front. I think that is where things will stay through the afternoon and evening. We've been talking about the Highway 36 here kind of being the boundary, and that is definitely going to hold. So here we are down into Kansas City territory and along I-70, just absolutely seeing nothing, just some barely a couple of radar returns showing up there. So that's what we have. That's what's going on now. I think that's really going to hold. So if you are up in northeast Missouri, here we go with, for example, predicted snowfall. Just wanted to let you know, I mean, we are just barely hanging on down here in Missouri to any snow amounts at all. Can't rule out just a little bit of freezing drizzle within the next few hours. So we'll go up here and see areas not so lucky tonight. 6.8 inches is the expected amount according to the National Weather Service up here into Iowa for sure. But that will be the bullseye. That is where things will hang out this evening. So we'll go down here into very extreme northeast Missouri up here around Lancaster. You might get 1/10 of an inch of snow. And I think that's going to do it for northeast Missouri in this system. So what will affect all of us, let's go ahead and take a look at temperatures as we move through the overnight. Watch what this kind of does. Watch how the temperature follows that low pressure, which is up here again over Iowa, and watch how the cold just kind of follows that as we go through the overnight. So here we are at about 7 p.m. tonight. We're going to see plenty of mid 40s around Kansas, 42 in Kansas City. We'll drop down. Actually, what is interesting about this is as that low traverses through, the coldest part of the overnight is a little bit later than what we're used to seeing. So your Sunday morning is going to be 8 and 9 o'clock when we actually see the lowest temperatures, 27 to 29 up here in Kansas City, going to be about 21 up in northern Missouri, mid 20s out in Kansas, and still hanging on to the low 30s for a good chunk of west central Missouri. Coldest air of the season is going to show up, or of this stretch, rather. It's not going to be the coldest that we've seen so far, but it is going to be close. This is going to set in for Monday morning. These are wind chill values. I see 9 to 10 up in northwest Missouri. I see mid-teens out in central Kansas, and west central Missouri going to be the warm spot, looking at about 22 degrees for your Monday. So again, not even as cold as we have had it yet, and I think that'll be the coldest in this stretch. So let's go ahead and look at some 10-day temperature data while I have you. So like I say, we're going to hang out with some mid-30s for your Sunday, 41 headed over into your Monday. Nice little warm up there. Tuesday going into Wednesday. Look what shows up. We'll start digging into that this week. For next weekend, I think we will see some overnight lows in the teens and dropping down into the single digits for the second half of next weekend. Looking to be chilly, at least in the mid to upper 20s is how things are looking this evening. So again, not seeing a whole lot go on with this snow system right now. Don't think we have too much to worry about. I'll go ahead and show you live radar as it sits right now. Few bands of precipitation, and we will watch out here in very northern Missouri for possibly some freezing stuff to roll through between now and about midnight here between maybe 169 Highway 35, Interstate 35 and 63 Highway over here north of, say, Kirksville. And that is about the only danger that I see with this system rolling through. So appreciate our sponsors bringing us up to the minute weather coverage. There you have it. Premier Contractor Services. There is their number for all your construction needs. Jumping on here and sponsoring our forecast data for this evening. Appreciate them very much. I'll keep watching things, but that's the story. I think it's going to be a relatively quiet night. Everybody have an awesome night, and I'll catch you later.